Alright, we won the die roll again, but don't think this hand is exactly where we want to be. It does have a bunch of mana, but there's nothing to do with it. And our deck wants to be pretty assertive. Ooh, this hand is much better. Keep... Ballista's okay. Problem is, if my Constrictor gets killed, this Ballista's looking pretty weak, and it's also not a land, so I think I'm actually going to push that to the bottom. Basic Plains. Legion's Landing, okay, so some kind of token deck maybe. It's kind of a shame, because Ballista would have been real good here, but obviously how would we know? It's not a big deal though. Oh, Mountain. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting black-white tokens. Danto Vanguard, okay, it's a pretty good card. Fatal Push, that's a good card. Let's just play Siphoner first. Get some energy. And pass. I guess we can attack. We hit him for 2, he hits back for 1 with the Lifelink Vampire. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Earthshaker Kenra, what on earth? What am I playing against? Alright, well that's gonna die. So I don't want him to flip his Legion's Landing. Was not expecting that. So some kind of token go wide brew, I guess. Should be a fine matchup, I think. As long as we can maybe prevent him from flipping that. I think I am going to draw a card here, even though there's an argument for saving it to put counters on our cub. Well, I guess we can just attack and threaten to have it anyway. I think it makes sense to send with both here, and just hold back the cub. Can't play the refinery yet, but that's not a big deal. Being assertive still seems like the correct play here. Generally is with this deck, especially with our pre-board configuration. We want to get games over quickly. It's the nice thing I like about this deck against other aggressive decks, like even mono-red, like sometimes our slightly bigger version just goes over the top of theirs. She's going to send with Vanguard, that's fine, I'll take 3. I could block and put a counter, but then that risks me opening myself up to like an Abrade or something. Or Combat Trick, who knows what's going on over there. Okay, he's just adding more to the board. I will draw another card. I think I'm going to pre-combat play this Hydra, which will allow me to have 4 energy available to put on the Long Tusk Cub in combat. And do I send with the Siphoner? Probably not, because he can just block with like Karizev plus Vampire. But I will probably just send with Cub. If I had to guess, he's just going to block and pay 4 life. Or just not block. Alright, so let's put at least 1 counter. If I put 2 counters, I'll get 3 energy back because of the Winding Constrictor, so I can still threaten a hexproof on Hydra. So that makes sense to me to just deal max damage this turn. And I can play Sanctum. So we will get to flip his Legion's Landing, but shouldn't be too big of an issue. He and Alar is fine. Yep, he's just all about going wide. This might be a good turn to just start forcing him to pay life on his Vanguard. Let's figure out our blocks first. Do gotta be careful here, so I don't threaten to lose to like a Trumpet Blast effect or something random. Does have those Shepherd as well. Probably gonna throw this Siphoner. Ooh, what's this pre-combat? He's gonna make me the Constrictor unable to block, that's fine. I think I want to throw this here and this on here, and then pay the energy to give it hexproof, I think. Let's see, what if I didn't block with Siphoner? I'd take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He goes up to 10, he can block one creature, which would be the Cub. Huh. I think I do this. This leaves me taking 4. I'm going to put a counter on my Hydra. I guess 2 counters actually, because of the Constrictor. He has to decide if he wants to pay life to save his Vanguards. He's not going to save either of them, which makes sense because he's pretty low. See if we can draw anything to end the game this turn. Attune is okay. Guess we'll play that. And then we'll play Rogue Refiner. So let's grab Island, I suppose. Actually, that might be game anyway, because we can put counters on whatever big creature he doesn't block. Yeah, because both of them can get up to 8 power, so I think this is game. Yep, take 10. Sweet. Probably shouldn't have sent with that Vampire token, if we're being real. Okay, so how do I want to deal with whatever he's doing? Appetite for the Unnatural seems okay. It deals with Legion's Landing, which isn't great, so I would only bring it in if I thought he had other targets for it, like maybe Anointed Procession, or I don't know, if he's playing black for like Hidden Stockpile. Probably not going to bring it in until I see something like that. I just like the plan of getting to the board fast, so I like Bristling Hydra. Don't love Siphoner, I think I'll trim on it. He's not straight mono red, so it's still probably going to have some utility. But in general, if we're getting beaten down, this card's not great. Vraska's Contempt, if I thought he was playing Hazaret, which seems semi-likely, I might want to do that. Hostage Taker is also not as good on the draw. I know Jerry likes to bring in Scarab God on the draw against mono red, so we can consider that. Maybe trim on another Siphoner. What else would we not want? Essence Scatter, I haven't seen enough big stuff from him. And it's also not as good on the draw. What do we not want is the bigger question. Rogue Refiners aren't super efficient. Maybe I can trim on that and like one other expensive card. Just cut like one Scarab God. I think we'll still be able to win games without it. Not sure if this is correct. It's probably not. Trimming one-ofs is generally wrong, but I'm still learning. Okay, sand looks pretty solid. Ooh, not a bad draw. Let's go ahead and play that. And we will grab a swamp. Argument for forest as well, but we already have double green. Double black opens up some options later. Vanguard's fine. Greenbelt Rampager lines up pretty well with that card, actually. Which I'm probably going to play here and then hold up the Blossoming Defense. Just to ensure no shenanigans. Next turn I can play Cub and also hold up Defense, assuming that we didn't use it the previous turn. Penalar, okay. Alright, let's just play Cub. Once again, hold up Defense. Next turn we'll be able to start doing interesting things. Once we drop this Hydra and have a pretty dominating board position. I like this so much better than regular Teamer already. I mean, I guess we haven't played against Teamer yet, so it remains to be seen if this plan is actually any good against the best deck in the format, but against just random chaff, this feels so much better. Okay, just block here. See if he has shenanigans or if he's just going to pay life. But I'm fine with either option. Braid the Long Tusk Cub. It's a very real possibility that I want to just save it here. I think I do, because next turn we can make it into a 4/4. Curious that he would do that. Probably means he has a second one to take out the Rampager. Yep. I mean, this is fine. We get him to pay 4 life, we get to keep our Cub, and then we get to play a Hydra and have a 4/4 Long Tusk Cub, or at least the threat of it. I'm still feeling pretty good about this one. He only has 2 cards in hand. It's not a bad card either. Let's start with the Hydra. Send in with the Cub. Probably just going to put 1 counter on it, which will allow me to leave up 1 activation for my Bristling Hydra. Though I don't intend to use it just to block the Adonto Vanguard, just in case something weird happens. Like a, I don't know, on-crop crasher or something. Just trying to figure out what the advantage is of playing white rather than just mono-red in this style of deck. Legion's Landing's like a fine card and all, but when you can't consistently cast it, it doesn't seem that powerful. Alright, so Hazoret's going to come in. I think we'll be able to erase it for the most part. So we're going to take 6 here. Untap draw. Another Ballista, huh? Okay. I was going to play an untap land and save this Fetid Pools to cycle, but I might just want to go tap land Ballista and then untap land Ballista for 3 the next turn. How much damage am I taking if I attack with both and then play Ballista post-combat? Let's see, if I attack with both and he takes it, I can put 2 counters, he goes to 4. So we can't quite kill him with Ballista. However, and then if he kills my Ballista, I take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not lethal, so he would need like 2 cards to kill me. Actually, that's not true, because then he would have Hazoret activation, so if he had a 2 mana removal spell, we would die. Right? We take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1 life short of doing that. So, The safe line is probably just to send with one of my creatures. Most likely the long tusk cub. And then post-combat we can play Ballista. Makes sense to me. I could play it pre-combat to ensure that my cub will get through his board if he like double blocks, but if he does I can just put a counter, so once again just going to put one counter on it, I think. Protect my Hydra as much as possible. Goes to 9. Get 2 energy back. This will be tight. I think if he makes one wrong step here, though, things could go pretty badly. Ixalan's binding, okay. Let's see what that wants to take out. The cub, that's fine. If he sends with too much here, we can set up a pretty nice counterattack. If he attacks with just Hazoret, it's interesting, but I think if he sends with 2, he's gonna die. I guess he does have the life payment on the Adanto Vanguard to give him more options, but even that I don't think is going to be enough. So I'm going to take this hit, go to 7, and then I'm going to play a Ballista for 3 and try to clear out his blockers. What is this now? Oh yeah, so he's definitely dead here. Take this, go to 8. Last card. Let's play Ballista. Start this party off by shooting his Vanguard, see what he wants to do about that. Alright, and then we just finish off Pia. Attack, put a counter on our Hydra. Takes 7, and then post-combat the Hydra, or the Ballista finishes him off. Oof, Xaxes. I knew that game would be pretty close. I think he could have maybe turtled up and tried to finish it with just the Hazoret, but I don't know. Who am I to say that he should have played around the second Walking Ballista? But anyway, that went better than expected.